Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making some delicious Nutella rolls. I hope you guys will enjoy this video. Please remember to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel for more videos. So let's get right into the video. So here are all the ingredients that I will be using. I'm gonna be using some all-purpose flour. I have my yeast, my instant yeast. I have some salt, you add the salt to your taste. I have a medium-sized egg. I have some melted shortening. If you don't have shortening, you can always use some vegetable oil or you can use some melted butter. I also have some sugar and I have some warm milk. So now I'm going to start proofing my, well, not really proof, but I like to mix the yeast with the sugar and the milk and let it stay for like a minute or two. Then I'm going to add the eggs. So that's what I am doing here. So ensure that when you add the yeast and the sugar to the milk, you'll stir it very well. So now I'm going to add my salt to my flour. So guys, the flour, the salt and the yeast, they don't work well together. So that's why I'm adding the salt to the dry ingredient. So after you add it, just give it a stir to incorporate it fully in the flour. Afterwards, I'm going to crack my egg and mix it with the milk, with the yeast mixture. So here I am adding my egg into the yeast mixture. So after you add the egg, just give it a good stir so that it can be fully incorporated. Afterwards, I'm going to make a hole in the center of the flour and I'm going to pour the mixture in. But before I do so, I'm going to add my melted shortening. So at this stage, I'm going to be using a wooden spoon to form the dough. You can always use your hands, you can use a stand mixer as well. So with the amount of liquid that I add to the flour, it varies depending on the type of flour, because some flour has more gluten than some. So if you realize that your flour is getting like too soft, you can always add a little flour, or if it is too hard, then I can add a little bit more milk. So after I finish forming the dough, I am going to oil my hand and also I'm going to oil the surface. Afterwards, I'm going to knead the dough for a few minutes, for about 7 to 10 minutes, or until the dough becomes stretchy and smooth. So it has been about 7 minutes of kneading, so I'm going to check to see if the gluten has been developed. So as I can see, it is very stretchy. So now I'm going to just form it into a ball, then I'm going to leave it to proof. So here I'm just adding a little oil to the surface. Afterwards, I'm going to place my dough, but before I do so, I am going to oil it so that when it is rising, it doesn't stick. Also, you grease the bowl as well. So normally I would add the dough into the bowl, but I am showing you another way in which you could do it. So after I oil the bowl, I am going to cover the dough. Then I'm going to also use a tablecloth to cover it as well. Because guys, the yeast love dark areas. So when you cover it, you're going to let it proof for 60 to 90 minutes or until it doubles in size. So as you can see, my dough has tripled in size. So what I'm going to do now is to use my clean hand to punch the air out of it. So ensure that you punch all the air bubbles from it. So that's what I am doing here. Now it's time for me to roll my dough into a rectangular shape. So here I'm applying some flour on the surface and also I'm going to apply it to my rolling pin. So I'm just going to roll it until it has the shape of the cutting board that I am using. After I am finished rolling the dough, I am going to apply some Nutella. So if your Nutella is not soft, it will be hard to apply it to the dough. So what you can do is just add some in a bowl and melt it in your microwave. Or if you don't have a microwave, you can always add it to a pot, to a saucepan, and then you melt it on the stove top. So I am using a spatula to apply the Nutella to the dough. So you can add as much or as little Nutella as you like. After you are finished applying the Nutella on the dough, you're going to roll it into a log. So while you're doing it, ensure that you roll it tightly. So I am going to be using a sharp knife to cut the rolls, but if you like, you can always use a dental floss, a clean dental floss, or a dough scraper to cut it. But ensure that you use something that is very sharp. So I started to add my rolls into a greased baking pan. You can use whichever baking pan you have, guys. So to be honest, while I was rolling the dough, I realized that the size dough was too small for my cutting board. So what I had to do was to like roll 3/4 of the dough first. So as you can see, guys, some of them have different sizes. So the first set that I did, they have the same sizes, but the other set has a different shape. So that's okay still. So I'm going to just cover and let it proof for another 30 to 40 minutes. After they are finished proofing, I am going to apply some milk on them. Afterwards, I am going to bake them in my preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 to 30 minutes or until they are lightly brown in color. So they are finished baking, and as you can see, guys, they are looking lovely. I hope you guys will give this recipe a try. Please remember to give me a thumbs up as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Please share this video with your friends, guys, and your family members. Tell them about Tamara recipes, let them come over. Subscribe and be a part of the family. Look at those, guys, they are so soft. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.